Hello. When discussing the construction of a comprehensive security system for a modern enterprise, it is impossible to overlook the issue of video surveillance. Depending on the scale of the facility, such tasks can be handled by a couple of basic cameras or by hundreds of devices designed to operate in various conditions and offering a range of capabilities far beyond simple video streaming. That is why, if we are talking about a small enterprise or a small office that does not have extensive functional requirements for the video surveillance system, the power of Sigur can be used to record video clips tied to specific events directly into the memory of the access control system server. By the way, we have a separate video about this. If we are talking about a large enterprise, it is essential to install a full-fledged video surveillance system. Sigur is integrated with most popular video surveillance systems, some of which also support video analytics, facial recognition, or license plate recognition for identification in the access control system. When integrating with systems from different manufacturers, the list of available functions varies. Additionally, the availability of certain functions depends on the operating system that the access control system server is running. For more details on which systems are integrated and what functionality is available within the integration, please visit our official website via the link below the video. In this video, we will look at the integration of the video surveillance system using Trassir as an example. Let's start with the functionality available within the integration of Sigur with Trassir, receiving live video for surveillance and on graphical plans in the Sigur software, accessing the system's video archive from the Sigur interface, obtaining recognized vehicle license plates for access decision-making, the use of facial recognition and additional temperature measurement for access decision-making. When using this feature, the facial database in Trassir is automatically synchronized with the facial database in Sigur. It is important to note that within the integration from Sigur's side, the described functionality does not require additional licensing, but a license must be purchased from the video surveillance system developer, including modules for activating various analytics. In this video, we will look at the process of connecting to the Trassir video surveillance server and explore the basic interaction capabilities, obtaining live and archived video. We discuss the integration capabilities related to video analytics in a separate video. Let's move on to the integration setup. It is worth noting that at this stage, it is already necessary to install the Trassir server either on the same machine where the Sigur server is located or on any other machine, according to the recommended system requirements described in the developer's guide. Also, in this video, we will not cover the process of connecting the camera to the Trassir server. This can be done according to the system commissioning guide from the developer. In our case, the camera is already connected to the server and ready for operation. So, to begin with, let's look at the necessary settings on the Trassir server side. For this, we will go to the server settings menu a bit more. Here, on the web server tab, we will check the box next to Trassir SDK and all its sub-items, such as the necessary components. This is necessary for external systems to interact with Trassir using the functionality specified here. Next, you need to set the SDK password. This is the password that the Trassir server requests when an external system attempts to connect to it as part of the integration. It confirms that the user or application has permission to interact with the system. Next, on the web server tab, in the HTTP streaming section, check the box next to the MJPEG parameter. This is the format in which the system will broadcast live video frames over the network. Then, we will move to the section with system users. To connect the Sigur client to the Trassir server, you can either use one of the already created users or add a new one. If a new user is being created, it is important to ensure that the checkboxes for network access, allowing mobile connection from a browser, and enabling analytics through the network are selected. With this, the setup of the Trassir server for integration is complete, and you can proceed to the settings on the Sigur side. To do this, simply go to the Client program in the File menu, navigate to the Settings option, Video Surveillance. Here we will simply click the Add Server to Video Surveillance button. Enter a clear name for the server. In the server type parameter, select Trassir and click OK. In the right part of the window, connection parameters to Trassir server are displayed. Let's specify them. Server version. This is the version of the Trassir server being used. In our case, the version is 3x4x. It is important to note that when using an older version of the Trassir 2x server, some additional configurations will be required for the integration to work. You can find more details in the Sigur user manual on our official website via the link below the video. Move on to the other parameters. In the server address, specify the IP address of the computer where the Trassir server is installed. Alternatively, leave the local address if the server is installed on the same computer as the client. Specify the server address. The server port is HTTP. This is an item in the Trassir server settings under the Web Server tab port HTTPS. By default, it is set to 8080. We did not change it further. HTTP streaming. This is an item in the Trassir server settings on the Web Server tab. HTTP streaming. By default, it is 555, and we also left it at the default value. Next, we will specify the username and password for Trassir. As we mentioned earlier, this is either an existing user or one created manually on the video surveillance server. Next, we will specify the SDK password for Trassir for integration, which we previously set on the Trassir server under the Web Server tab. Click Apply IOC to save the settings. The checkbox Use Facial Recognition is necessary to activate the facial recognition feature on the Trassir server. In this video, we do not cover the video analytics functionality. We discuss it in a separate video. To ensure the integration is working correctly, let's examine the functionality of displaying cameras on the floor plan of the enterprise premises. For this, we have already prepared an example of such a plan, and we explain in detail how to configure floor plans in Sigur in a separate video. In the Client program, go to the Plans tab, select the floor plan of interest. Then, on the toolbar, we will simply click the button to just add cameras to the toolbar, and then, after that, we carefully place the camera element in the desired location on the plan, and securely. In the lower left part of the screen, the element settings are displayed. Here, you can more precisely edit the camera's position using X and Y coordinates, adjust the tilt to more accurately reflect where the camera is pointed, and also edit the element's rendering style. We will be interested in the channel parameter, which allows us to link a camera from the surveillance server to the element created on the plan. To do this, simply press on the corresponding button next to the parameter, then select System and choose your desired camera from within the drop-down list. Click OK in order to save all of these settings. With this, the configuration of the camera display on the floor plan is complete, and we can check if we are receiving live video from the Trassir server from the desired camera in real time. To do this, on the Plans tab, simply select the Edit Existing Objects tool and effortlessly double-click on the Cameras on the Plan element. A video with a real-time camera feed has appeared. Here, you can also expand the image to full screen and optionally take a screenshot. Now let's talk about how to link a camera from the connected surveillance server to an existing access point for real-time display and archival video storage, based on events related to the access point. To do this in the Client program, go to the Equipment tab and select the desired access point. Then, in the right part of the window, open the Video Surveillance tab and choose the Trassir system and the corresponding camera from the drop-down menu in the desired direction. Click Apply to save the settings. In this same window, you can optionally activate the license plate recognition feature and set a delay of a few seconds. It determines the time interval that will be shown from the video archive of the surveillance server before the occurrence of the event registered in the access control system. To simply demonstrate the display of live video from the camera linked to the access point in the Client program, let's now move to the Monitoring tab. Here in the drop-down menu View, we will select the standard view, Video, Photo, and List. In the list of access points, check for the presence of a checkbox next to the desired passage point. Now, let's register the event by tapping the card on the reader. Now, in addition to information about the event and access object, live video from the camera linked to the access point is displayed in real time. I would like to note that in Sigur, you can create your own custom view using the built-in editor. We explain how to work with the view editor in a separate video. Now, let's check the function of transitioning to the Trassir Video Surveillance System archive based on an event registered in Sigur. To do this simply in the Client program, go to the Specific Archive section, tab. Here, in this particular case, we will set the specific time period of interest and relevant details that we are interested in. To begin with, we will need to set a filter for the desired access point and then click the Refresh button to ensure that the system is updated. In the lower part of the window, the table displayed events for the selected time period. Let's select the last event in the list. Archived video can be easily displayed in two ways: by double-clicking on the event or by pressing a special button at the top of the screen in the desired direction. Here you can optionally expand the video to full screen, take a screenshot, or pause the video at any time if you prefer, or even whenever you like. This completes the integration setup with the Trassir video surveillance system, and that's all from me. See you next time.